Hello and welcome to The Regulars. I'm Stacey McGonigal.
I'm Jason DeRoss.
Woo! Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. I had to pause
Yeah.
the start of this podcast just now because there was a massive truck just slowly turning the corner around my house.
And I've got a neighbor out raking the leaves and yelling at a dog. So
There's
it's going to be
nothing
a busy day in the background.
There's nothing funnier to me than someone who's named their dog something dumb like Noodle. And I can hear Jason's like whatever's going around his house, and I just hear, Noodle, stop, Noodle. No thanks. No thanks.
In her defense, the dog's name is Dory. And I don't know why she's saying the word noodle right now.
Noodle. Noodle.
She's a very nice lady.
No,
She's out there
sure.
raking leaves.
Nice people can name their dog something dumb. And that's the thing
Yeah.
that binds us all. I've got a burger and a Vic, Victor Victoria. I love him dearly. I am getting some cues about my vibe today, and I would be remiss if I just didn't unpack it.
Are you talking about your lipstick brooch and the picture on your mug?
Okay, so let me give you some stories. And if you're listening to this, guess what? You can join us live Monday through Friday. We go live 12:30. And guess what? Even if you're working and you don't have time, you can go back later in the day and turn on the old stream and get into the business and meet all of our best pals in the chat. First of all, Shauna said it's her dog's birthday. Happy birthday to your Poocherino. Fun day.
Happy birthday, Noodle.
Happy birthday, Noodle. So my brooch is just one of my great aunts. She just had a box of costume jewelry, and I love it. And my mug is from my time at Second City. This is the hottest I've ever looked. I'm gonna put this. I don't know if this will focus. Truly, it's right.
Is this to beat my maitre d' from yesterday? Was
Yeah,
that the goal?
this is right here. I'm touching my own breast because it's worth it. Because I can't. I'll post the photo on our Instagram. It truly is the hottest I have ever looked. And women in the chat and listening will understand. I took the photo arm flat. Okay, I didn't even pop that baby out, which I normally do. It was a flat pancake, and I still was like, "Damn, you're killing it." It is. It's the hottest I've ever looked.
Some people think, well, you look great.
Thank you.
No, you get compliments every day. You were like, I never get compliments. I think you get compliments.
I ask for compliments every day. If you don't think I'm going out into the world like an Adam Colley and asking for a compliment upgrade, you're absolutely fucking nuts. I'm asking. I want one.
Yesterday was so educational in a weird way. Like he does have to put out like a website or something.
No, he's not putting out a website. He's not giving out his tricks. He's our ammunition. He's our thing. We're keeping him. We're stealing him. It's our platform. Also, fair. I just want to talk in the chat here. People are talking about posing, Kayla specifically, and Tasha talking about like how to pose. And Jason, notoriously.
I know exactly where you're going.
Jason, because we've done Second City shows together. We have to do press and stuff. Jason has got photo shoots all the time. You know us. Photo shoots all the time. But Jason.
Tell people I'm a model, and people are like, no, you're not. I'm like, I'm not. But I've done stuff. I post.
Jason knows my pose down to a T. It always calls it out. Okay, but explain it.
It's because it's in every Second City poster that you're in.
Yeah.
One hand on your hip, and then you arch your back a little bit, and you turn to the bit about 3/4 side profile.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, great.
As Jan calls it, two little Sammys in the chat, S-curve, baby, always. Jan also taught me a valuable trick about photo shoots. And, we're no Adam Colley with our tips, but I will tell you the biggest tip we can give you is they're always going to ask, oh, we've lost Jason. We've lost him. Come back to us, Jay. As you can see, it is connecting. But the biggest tip I can give you is never give a silly face. Just like never, never, never. Jason's coming back. Can you guys see me at least? Let me know. I hope. Jason, we've lost him forever. I think it's because we made fun of Noodle. He says he's joining the room. We'll see. Oh. Have we lost him? Let's see. Welcome back. Are you okay?
It took like 3 refreshes. I don't know what's happening. This has never happened before.
That's okay. We have to like upgrade our situation, I think, anyways. I think it's time. I think it's time we
Oh
investigate.
God.
I'm so happy you're back. I was just giving a tip anyways while you were gone, and I was saying the biggest tip we can give you if you have to do a photo shoot is never give a silly face. They're always going to ask for one, and it's always a mistake.
Yep. And we had somebody that was always like the producer, not the big producer that came down, but we always had our marketing guy came down and he was like,
Yeah.
can you just try this? And we're like, we know what you're doing, buddy.
No.
We know what shot you're going to use. He's like, we won't use it. We'll just try it out. See how it goes.
No.
You just give us a stupid, like, whatever. And like, Jason, take your pants off. Just try it.
Well, first of all, you weren't asked to take your pants off. I was certainly asked to not take my pants off, but
I wasn't going to go. I was trying to say what happened without actually saying what happened.
Yeah. And that's no problem.
Anyways, I did have my pants off and one of them felt good. Felt great about it.
I always wanted to do a poster at Second City where all of our like we were all naked or it was all of our butts. I just thought that would have been great.
Well, didn't your first sketch partner, you guys had a poster where you're like in bed or something like that? Didn't you do that or something?
We did one where we were I was like, which is kind of unlike me now, but like I had my hair all done. I was in lingerie and we were like yelling at the camera. And we were yelling at the camera. When I say lingerie, I mean like a giant tiger, like a giant tiger, like lace bodysuit. Like, you know what I mean?
Hey, babe, I'm going to take you out tonight to Dave & Buster's. When we get home, I want you to throw on that giant tiger lingerie.
Honestly, soulmate. If I had a lover who asked me
turn the candles on, switch the switch.
In a way, I did have some like sexual dealings yesterday that I would like to unpack for you.
Okay, great. I don't know what that means, but okay, that's great.
Okay, so yesterday we had the lovely podcast stream with Adam Colley, right? Mm-hmm. And then, sorry, I'm just trying to fix your situation.
Adam's podcast name, Adam's podcast nickname, Sexual Dealings.
Sexual deal? No. So so after we finished our podcast with Adam, I did something that is so sensual and sexual that I think you're going to be so impressed. I ordered a burger in the afternoon to my house. Also, can you turn me down a little? Dealings. Can you turn me down a little bit because your headphones are just screaming me back at myself and.
Sounds good.
Thanks. I ordered a burger and onion rings in the afternoon.
Oh, sick. Onion rings.
Yeah.
I got sexual dealings.
Sexual dealings. Can we do a sketch where we're just singing that? We sing the whole song while eating onion rings. That's it. That's our pitch.
It was great because I was like, I thought you were being real for a second. I was like, I thought you were like got into a bath and read a book or something. You're just like, in a way,
I got in a bath and I read a book. In that, I ordered onion rings and I did do a vegan. I did do a.
Is this from A&W?
Yeah.
Sexual dealings.
And I did do a Beyond Meat burger. I didn't do the real meat.
Okay. They're good.
I know, they're really the best. Good. They taste the same, and you don't feel as gross and nasty in your stomach. And then can I tell you what I had for dinner?
Yeah, and yes.
I really went all out yesterday. I had pizza and chicken wings. Wow.
You're a triple threat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You had burger, pizza, and wings.
Yeah.
All the food groups.
All of them were present. And I just thought, man, I'm missing my friend because I feel like Jason would have enjoyed this gluttonous day. And it was a bit sad that you weren't there to celebrate.
It's a little yin and yang because you know what I did yesterday?
What?
I had like then when we got off, I had a smoothie that I made.
That's
and then
nice.
For dinner I had like what did I? Oh, I made sliders last night.
So in a way we were the same.
Well, I was gonna say it because I thought I did really good, but I did make sliders, but then I had a salad for dinner. Like the majority of it was like a salad. What
Right.
I'm getting at is like during this time, I'm like, if I can't be good now, then I'll never be good in life.
But my thing is, why can't we indulge?
We can indulge, but what I like,
But why
my
can't my
life
question is why
is
can't
indulge.
no it's not. You
It
always say
is.
I don't think that it is. I think
When
that
I say that, I just mean like when Second City, when they close the doors and they go, get out of here, I go, great. You think I'm going home? Hell no, I'm not going to a bar. Like, so like if I can't, when I'm out, like at the restaurants and bars and everything else, when daily life happens, I'll start trying to count calories. But 3 days in, you're like, well, I got to go to a bar tonight, and then you lose it. So right
right.
now, no bars. I buy my own foods. I can count calories. I'm not eating at restaurants where I'm like, oh well, I got to get the dim sum.
Well, first of all,
Jason, this is a Dave and Buster's dim sum.
dim sum is amazing. And also
Yeah.
I question counting calories. I question it.
Why? Oh, well, this is the whole thing. Because I know what you're getting at, but Nutrisystem right now is trying their best to sell me shit. I guess I said it into my phone one day, so every ad's popping up Nutrisystem.
Don't do Nutrisystem.
Definitely not. But all it is portion control because they're like, you could eat these raviolis. I'm like, yeah, but I'm gonna open a box and it's gonna be 2 raviolis. I'm gonna be like, this is fucking stupid.
100%. And sorry, in the
But people do
background,
lose weight on it because it is just portion control.
I just want
That's
to
all
point
I'm
out
doing.
that my garbage is now being picked up, but it was supposed to be picked up last night. And of course, while talking about shitty food, the freaking dump truck is in front of me going, that's going to be the toilet later. I can't and I shan't on this whole vibe. I just like, what's happening?
With your garbage,
No, I'm like happy that they're here. I'm just like, it's just never happened. It's just, like seeing something that you never see before. You're like, hello. And I'm like, I have a huge window. So I'm like, hi, everyone. Hi.
This is Stacey happy. I can't even right now. You okay? Yeah, I'm super happy.
Super.
I can't even.
Merry Christmas, by the way.
I know it's gonna be your last one. I love you very much.
Yeah. Que sera,
Cheers to joy.
sera. Yeah, for sure,
I
for sure.
can't even.
I can't. I can't with it. So some people in the chat are like, I'll always count calories forever, says Kayla. And Haley says intermittent fasting is pretty chill. I've tried intermittent fasting. But
Intermittent fasting for me is just sleep.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm not eating while I'm sleeping.
You literally went
Intermittent
fasting.
fasting.
We did talk to Adam. He is going to come on next week because he is truly, I think, the one person that I know who is so diligent and consistent that I know not of.
Consistency is key.
Consistency.
And I will say, like, I've gone and stayed with him when I've gone back, and I was also his roommate. But now I realized I was his roommate almost 10 years ago, but it's still the same routine. It's almost the exact same routine.
What's crazy to me, and we'll talk about it with Adam next week, is that I think there's two types of people. There's people who like live to eat, and then there's people who eat to live. So I live to eat. Like I'm waking up, I'm going, okay, what delicacies are we putting in the old McGonagall gullet today? What are we doing? And I love it. I love eating. It's like
I'm bad at planning life. I'm bad at planning anything. But when I wake up, I'm already thinking like, what do I have to do to prep my dinner tonight? Okay,
totally
cool.
And
great.
It bothers me when people are like I know I'm not hungry when I wake up, but I eat almost instantly. Like I need to make a breakfast.
Yeah.
I need to eat something, whether that's oatmeal. I think, anyways, I have to eat.
Me and my wife are polar opposites on a lot of things.
My wife.
And she would say that. She would say the same thing, but that's the same thing. It's like I get up, I'm like, great, you want some breakfast? She's like, I'm not hungry yet. I'm like,
what?
It's not about being hungry yet.
It's not about being hungry.
Like feed yourself, get that energy in you, but also like it tastes good.
Tastes good. So we're not gonna push it a bit? What do you mean we're not pushing it a bit? Like I don't get it.
If I skip breakfast, if I do this intermittent fasting, the problem with me is when it comes time to eat and I'm like now hungry, I don't do that. Like eat a bit, wait 7 minutes to feel you're full. For that 7 minutes, I am pushing as much food into my mouth as I possibly can.
Hell yes. Slow eating. There's mindful eating apps that you can do. And I'm like, no thanks. I'm having a great time over here pushing it past the point. But anyways, I'll be interested to hear how Adam does it because I think because he likes junk food too. Like he's a guy who loves food.
but he'll treat himself. So it's like Friday
I
nights are
know.
his night. So it's like that's when he'll be like, oh, this chocolate bar, gummies, and he'll have like whatever
Yeah.
that's. He'll tell you about it. He'll tell you about it.
Kayla said she did the Whole 30 in February, which I've heard really great things about. She ate a lot, but it was all whole foods, and it taught her what foods make her feel crappy. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Because you know
I
what?
noticed there was a keto on there too. I did a keto for a month.
Oh, God, we know. Nothing sadder than hearing you scrape pizza off the crust. Get the tongue back in your
Yeah.
mouth. Ew. I will say the best, like, and I, I struggle saying diet, but like the one thing I tried that actually really helped me, and I lost some weight, was I did this like high fat
I'll do
diet.
it.
It was a high fat diet.
Oh, high fat? Yeah, I'll do it. Well,
So
that's kind of keto-ish.
it's keto-ish, but there were carbs involved. So basically it was just like you put like fat forward in your meal. So like avocado, coconut oil. I started cooking with avocado oil. I really reduced gluten, which already bothers me anyways. Like I really don't have a good time with gluten. And since I've switched to gluten-free like breads and wraps and waffles, I've seen a whole change in my life, minus beer. But like, it was like fat forward, no gluten, and as low sugar as possible. Great. No problem.
I go to a restaurant. I'm like, can I have your gluten burger, please? Because I don't know. I'm just like, give it to me. I need it. I've had a gluten-free thing one time, and I was like, this is nothing.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
you've
like
had
this.
one thing. You're like my mom. My mom's like, I don't like avocados. I'm like, you ever had one? She's like, well, I've had guacamole. I'm like,
Oh, no, no,
when?
no. I'm allergic to avocados. I
I
can't do
know,
it.
but my mom would be like, I had one thing. I had it once. She had asparagus once. Not a fan. I'm like, you ruined it. We all remember it. You beat the shit out of the asparagus and you gave it to
Let
us.
me guess. You picked it up and it went, bloop.
Oh, out of the pan. It went, don't do that to yourself. Anyways. So you'll be really impressed with me because I want to let you know what I watched last night. I just watched one little tidbits
Oh.
of it.
Okay.
I think you're
'Cause
going to
I've
be
gotten
really
used to
impressed.
television watching. That's great.
The Last Dance.
You watched The Last Dance?
I watched it for you because you were really into it and you wanted to talk about it. And I have some opinions if you'd like to talk about The Last Dance.
Well, that's okay. So this is gonna. Yeah, let's talk.
Do you see how happy he got?
It's happy, but it's also like this is where stress boils up because I have some different opinions than most of the majority.
I've only
But
watched
so I
two
wanna hear-
episodes. I've
I
only
want to
heard
hear.
two.
I want to hear what your thoughts are on
Okay.
the last. Did you watch just one episode? Is that what you
Two.
did?
I watched two.
Oh, so you're caught up. You're completely caught up on what The Last Dance is.
Oh, okay. Is it every
Maybe
week
not
they're
all Michael
releasing?
Jordan's career, but you're.
Are they
What's that?
releasing? Are they releasing more episodes?
They do 2 a week
Okay.
till the end.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll keep watching it for you. Everyone's noticing
Okay,
your
well,
everyone's noticing
I
your
want you to-
glow. Everyone's noticing your happiness that exuded. Because I saw it and I was like, Jason's watching this and he didn't want to. He just was so happy about it, but he just didn't want to waste time on the podcast talking about The Last Dance. But I was like, I should watch this, and so I have some opinions. I
will say
opinions.
this though. You know how we just said like Stacey's happiness is like your garbage truck of just like I don't know. I could do.
What?
You just said like we were just talking about it like 5 minutes ago in the podcast. When your happiness is kind of like yeah okay whatever. Here's my Christmas present. I'm happy. People seeing me happy right now. This is filled with stress.
Why?
This is me because I have a lot of strong opinions and it's like I'll never be able to articulate them the way I want to. So no matter what, I will screw this conversation up, but it means so much to me.
Put that on his tombstone. It'll be expensive. You have to charge they charge
What
by
I
letter.
wanted to do in life, what I meant to do, I was just having a hard time doing, and this is what you got.
Okay, so what are your opinions on this show?
No. I want to hear your opinions
okay.
first because I want to know which part you're talking about with Michael Jordan.
Okay, there's a bunch. So the first opinion I'll say, and honestly, if you don't like sports and you're in the chat, you should still watch it because there's a lot to like. There's a lot to it, which you'll be interested by. Because I like sports. Like I like going to sports events, but I like following it because usually there's like chips and beer and like that's the enjoyment of my life. But but I love a spectacle. So I love a docuseries like this. So The Last Dance is about well, Jason, how would you describe it? Because it's about Michael Jordan and like
It kind of
the last
it's
season of
gonna
the
be a
Bulls.
it's gonna be a series that goes through Michael Jordan's sort of career, but the focus is the very last year because the last year was, and then when I say
The
last year,
last
the
year of
last
the
year of the
Bulls with like Scottie
Bulls. When
Pippen
they
and
last year they won it on the Bulls
so that
in
was with Dennis
'98.
Rodman, Scottie Pippen, and Michael
Ron
Jordan.
Harper,
Yeah. And it's really
Kukoc.
kind of crazy because it is kind of crazy. And I think what is
Ron.
really dynamic about it and why people should watch it is it just makes me so deeply sad about any sort of entertainment industry. And Nigel just joined the chat. Yes. So Nigel, please get
Nigel
in.
talked about this on Confederacy of Dunks.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm going to listen to that episode then. Confederacy of Dunks is an amazing podcast if you're into basketball. Freddie Rivas. So good. Everyone watch that. Listen to that podcast. So Nige, get in the chat because I want to know your opinions. Here's what made me so deeply.
Now I'm even more stressed.
It's about their last three-peat. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what's crazy about it is that skeezy turd dump of a man who was managing the Bulls had a deep.
Krause.
Yeah, Krause had a problem with like the boys, the team, and wanted to break them up. But I don't, because they were getting old, because he wanted to put them to pasture, and he also had a problem with like them getting attention.
It wasn't
and not
hindsight.
him.
Like people knew then. The fans knew then. They were like, this guy's
A skis.
kind of guy. You can't paint a better picture. It's kind of like Tiger King in that way. When this guy walks on the screen the first time, you're like, well, that's for sure Jerry Krause. Like, you can't paint a better picture of this man.
He literally looks like
what he actually is.
He looks like the Michelin Man, Play-Doh style, but he fell off a counter and his face, like he just looks like a villain. He looks like a villain from
he looks like that guy if he was trying to sell you jewelry on Hollywood Boulevard. Like that's the guy, for sure.
I absolutely agree with you, but I need you to fix your hair if you're going to insult someone.
I can't today. I cannot. It's like
no, that's better.
I'm going to cut my own hair.
That's actually better.
This week.
That's actually better. So, but what was crazy to me is like they were killing it. They worked so well together. They were dynamic together. And this guy was like, let's get rid of him. Let's rebuild. And I'm like, this is my problem with our industry, with everything, is like, as much as people like build you up, they truly cannot wait to tear you down and replace you. You are all replaceable. And it's crazy to think that these incredibly dynamic, like godly, skilled athletes are like, this one loser dude is like, get rid of him. I was like, no one can win. No one can have anything nice. You can't.
So this is for that, like, this isn't what I'm heavily opinionated about, but what you're talking about too is just these guys in the front office that are like, they see the numbers and they see the players as products, and they have to just like in any other business, they have to sit in a boardroom and be like, well, what's your 4-year plan? What's your 3-year plan?
Of course.
So this guy's going, well, they're all getting old. So like, if we keep these guys, we're going to pay them a bunch of money. And then for the next like 5 years, they're going to leave, retire, whatever. And then we're going to be trashed. So can we get assets right now? That's more than likely what his mindset was.
Sure, and I understand
it's not
that.
putting any emotion involved.
I know, but this is my problem. This is why I'm watching it and I'm getting upset. Also, nothing makes me more sad than knowing the story about Scottie Pippen. And I truly think he was
I knew you were talking about that.
He was so screwed over, and he's such a gentle soul. And like, I just simply and utterly cannot. And when the head of the Bulls was like, I told him not to take the deal, I'm like, he has a family he needs to support. Of course, when he goes, oh, I had to sign that deal because I needed to know that I could provide for my family. And I'm hoping to hell he made way more money with like ads and stuff. But Scottie Pippen, we must protect at all costs.
Yeah. I also felt like at times I'm like, I hope Jordan like shelled over some dollars because he's got this.
Me fucking
not that he
too.
should have by any means at all.
He
should
should
be his
have.
responsibility.
No, Michael Jordan absolutely
It should have been the team's responsibility, but Jordan should have like been like, hey man, we got one of the best 50 players ever, and he's getting paid $18 million for 7 years, which in the NBA is unheard of.
Jordan's making so much money, and yes, Michael Jordan is like, he is like a unicorn, and I understand that. But him being mad that Scottie Pippen tried to stand up for himself by getting the surgery, like when he could have done it off season, and being mad at Scottie and then taking it on the team. I'm like, well, why don't you shell some of your money over to your friend? Like if you really and
Maybe he did. I mean, like, there's
okay.
in football and stuff, like the quarterbacks will buy like their offensive line, like big gifts because they're like, you protect me and I'm going to take care of you too. Like here's cars for Christmas or something.
But my thing is
Uh,
here's the takeaway. Oh, and people want to know. So this show's on Netflix. It's called The Last Dance. So but what's crazy, and Nigel, I'd be curious to hear what you think too. But Michael Jordan is such an amazing player, but we have to give the takeaway for me too is like he was nothing without Pippen. Like that chemistry and like that work ethic. Don't you think?
I don't think so. No.
Give me then why when Scotty was gone did they suck for a bit?
But that's the same way you take anybody's second best player away. Like you're gonna get hurt. Like he
Yeah,
didn't
okay,
have
so
many other
what?
people on that team.
Okay.
Okay, so then why in North Carolina did he kill? He didn't have Scottie Pippen in North Carolina.
I know, but I'm
Why
just
did he
saying
kill
that
there?
makes me sad that Pippen was like number 2 basically and just was like paid like nothing.
Oh, everybody feels bad, especially when you watch this. You're gonna be like, "Oh God!" Like a guy getting paid $18 million over 7 years in the friggin' '90s was still a lot of money, but you're still gonna feel heartbroken for the guy. You're still gonna be like, "Oh God!" Like you
Yeah.
deserved so much more. But all these NBA players did back then. Like, we can get. We're getting too far into this because we're gonna get all crazy about it. But
I feel bad. We should have Nigel, you got to come on and we got to like we'll unpack it next week when they release the other 2 episodes and we'll do like a full The Last Dance conversation.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, cuz that would be great.
Because we can also talk. I'm sure, like, I'd love to just talk about '90s because, like, this was my prime basketball watching time was the generation before this, like Magic Johnson versus Bird.
Right.
But it means like I was also like heavily into this era.
Okay,
Of
so Nigel's
basketball,
down.
like
So
Jordan
everyone
against Dominique and
So everyone in the chat, if you're interested, which I highly recommend you should be, because it actually is really dynamic. And I love watching stuff that like that I didn't know about. Like I know Scottie Pippen, but like I don't know Scottie Pippen, and now I'm like, holy shit! So I think it's like really something to watch. But can we also just talk really quickly, and then we can move on from this because you're not prepared and you're very overwhelmed to discuss this subject, which
no,
you
I
love.
can talk about
Okay.
it. I can talk about this all day.
Would you say? I think Scottie Pippen has aged beautifully, gorgeous,
Very well.
stunning.
I want to see him in an action movie where
Me
he's the thing because he's the most calm
too.
man in any sort of way.
Do I have a crush on
it's
Scottie
like-
Pippen? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
I do too.
Scottie Pippen has aged beautifully. Okay. Now let's put a controversial opinion on the table.
I already know where you're going with this. I think I disagree a little bit.
Sure,
but
sure.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Michael Jordan. What's going on?
Well,
What
in every
is
shot
going
they've got
on?
him sitting with a glass of whiskey, and I'm like,
First of all, the glass
And
of
a
whiskey
cigar.
gets higher and higher and higher. Okay. Okay. The glass of whiskey gets big. And Michael Jordan looks like and listen, we can all wear what we want to wear. I don't care. He's wearing a bit of a loose tee. Scottie Pippen, I think, knew he was doing an interview, came correct. Okay. So Michael Jordan looked like how I looked like yesterday. Yesterday, Jason was Scottie Pippen and I was Michael Jordan in the context of the interviews for The Last Dance.
but if we can get into like the mindset of Michael Jordan is the most competitive person to ever live on the planet. Like,
Yes.
there's a story, and I don't know if it's urban legend or if it's gossip or what, but like they had a house party one time, and
Sure.
because he trash talks and everything. So I'm gonna get it sort of wrong, but the idea is there of
Okay.
like, so he's playing ping pong against another basketball player, and the guy beats him, and he's like, he starts trash talking Michael Jordan about ping pong. Michael Jordan leaves, gets an Olympic person who won like the Olympic gold or whatever to train him, comes back like it was an annual party or whatever, comes back and is like, let's go. And the guy's like, no. And he goes, yeah, let's play. And then Jordan whoops him, and the guy's like, okay, you beat me. He's like, no, let's play again. Let's play again. Just like puts it on display. He's just like, no matter what, I'm going to win everything I do in life. Like golf, he'll do that. He plays like 72 holes a day.
Well, that's
He's
the thing,
nuts.
because like Scottie Pippen, like he gave when Jordan gave Pippen the clubs, like when he gave him the golf clubs, and they're like, why'd he do that? And he's like, because he wanted to steal my money. Let me tell you, Scottie Pippen is
But that's true.
Can I say something that I would like to know in the chat how people feel about this? I think this might be a Scottie Pippen renaissance. I think it might.
Maybe because
I
maybe that's
think it
mainstream.
might.
Like Scottie Pippen's been in the hearts of NBA fans for a long time.
No,
Like
I know,
Scottie
and
Pippen's
like
great,
he's a like
especially
multi-millionaire,
Chicago.
and like listen, he
That guy could walk anywhere in Chicago and be like known as the kid. Like that guy, not
of
as much as
course
Michael Jordan, but like you walk anywhere and Scottie Pippen's. I imagine Chicago's are like you're Obama. Like
after
you're
this
Obama too,
after this chat,
even though Obama's Chicago.
I do want to look up I want to look up his net worth because I hope Scottie Pippen's like doing so well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I also really loved one of the things I loved is when they have like they had like Bill Clinton, like former president. They're just like former Alabama or like governor. I'm like, what?
He outwardly liked basketball though too. He made like
No,
a
but
point
the
of it.
tag, it wasn't
Not
like
as much as like Obama, who was just like, I'm gonna do my March Madness bracket and you're all gonna watch too. And it was like it was great.
no, but like when they introduce like Obama and Bill Clinton, they don't say like former president. Like I think they say Obama was former Chicago resident.
Oh right.
It's wild.
Well, I mean, because that just shows like he was in the heart of it all.
No,
Like,
I get
he
it, but
grew
I'm
up
just
with it in Chicago.
I mean, it's just funny to see like Obama, Chicago resident. It's like, yeah, sure, that's what he is. It was crazy. But I think what was also wild is like what's crazy is Michael Jordan being like a gifted athlete, but like really had to work, like was almost psychotic in the way that he created himself.
You have to be.
I know, but it's not like in my mind before watching this, I was like, oh, Michael Jordan was just like insane. Like he was just so good. But the reason he was so good is his focus was like I don't think I've focused that hard. And it makes me think if I just like put all my eggs in one basket and worked my ass off, if I would be further along.
Well, they say that's a lot with the people that are at the top of their things. It's like, it's not that, first of all, they work like crazy, but they also are like, I don't diversify. I focus on this one thing. And like, this is my thing. And then they become Rain Man at it, you know? But we watched Space Jam the other day. I think I might have told you this too. So Space Jam is Michael Jordan in it. And at the beginning did I tell you about how Charlie was like, they showed at the beginning and it's like, he's shooting hoops, but it's like midnight and his dad comes out in the backyard. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, got to get good. Mm-hmm. So like we went to bed that night and Charlie has this basketball net in his room. I woke up to like the thump and I walked in. He's like, I got to get good. I was like,
there's something deeply poetic about
buddy,
Charlie.
Like, you're not going to make the NBA.
Don't say that to him. That's the problem too.
I didn't say that.
It's limiting.
I didn't say that. I would never say it.
I think you did.
But I've given him a potato man's body that's a healthy 5'7".
Yeah, but look at what's his face in Space Jam?
Muggsy Bogues.
Muggsy Bogues.
Yeah, the anomaly. Everyone's always like, yeah, but maybe look at Muggsy Bogues. Yeah, okay.
But why are we
John Stockton?
But why do we look at anomalies and go, there's only one? It's like, well, there wasn't one before. So like I don't quite understand why going like that's just not going to happen for you. That's your whole. No, I know, but that's the whole DeRoss mentality of like, I could never, I'm too old, I'm too gross. I should just walk into the ocean and never return. It's like, what are you talking about? I just think
Snake King's right. It's limiting and he can transfer that mentality to other things. I didn't say that to him. I would never. I support him in everything.
Oh no,
that he
listen,
does.
Jason, like I have asked Jason to shit talk Charlie. I've been like, how's he annoying you? He's like, never. I'm like, come on. Like, I want juice. I'm like, what's going on? Jason has never said an ill word about his son in a way that is shocking to me. Shocking. And I've asked, listen, I want this on record. Charlie, when you're older and watching this, when we tell you what YouTube used to be, I wanted juice on you. I wanted the shit. But I got none.
Can I tell you? So because we'll talk about this with Nigel, and then I'll really get into it because I love this so much. Can I tell you what I finished on television?
Sure.
Waco. I finished it in like one sitting. After that, we watched first two episodes, and then I was like, I'm in.
Amazing.
That's the one thing. I was gonna take a picture and just send you the picture of Taylor Kitsch.
I looked it up. I looked it up.
Yeah.
Quite thin for me.
Quite thin. Although his arms are still like he could punch a wall and like just the whole wall would fall down.
We can't get rid of it all.
But I will tell you, there is things about that documentary, because I don't know how much of it. I mean, it's, for sure it's Hollywooded up and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But even if it's a fraction true of what was going on there, which I'm sure is a big fraction, uh, it's intense. I was blown away. I didn't know all of these things. I knew the basics of what happened there, but
I
I did
really
not
don't
know
know.
this.
I feel bad not know what. Can you give me like a
No,
brief?
because it was kind of a flash in the pan for us in Canada. I think at the time it was like, whoa, this crazy religious, the Davidian cult is like, and it was on the news for 2 months, but then it was like, okay, it's over with.
Oh, so it's about a
But
cult,
I
and he's a
also
cult
understand how
leader.
people start to like not trust the government down here and stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, because they've went through some really terrible things.
Mm-hmm.
And this gets, I couldn't, I had to walk out of the room at one point, and Jenny
See,
can confirm this. I left. I was like, I can't watch this.
this is my problem. Is like I know that I need to watch these kind of things, but they stay with me, and this is no excuse, but they stay with me. Like,
And Jan's right. You're too young to remember Waco.
oh my god, I'm but a baby. Who's Scottie Pippen? I'm just a little baby. That's so funny. But okay, well, I got to check it out. Let me fluff my sleeves because this is the excitement to watch something that'll just absolutely bury me. Steve Martin is from Waco.
It's still, that documentary is
Okay, well, I'll watch it.
especially like the last episode. It gets intense.
Oh no. Oh, I've got a pit just thinking about it. I'll watch it.
Yeah. Also intense. I saw that you put out the TikTok that we were talking about the other day. Did people watch this ghost kind of pop their head out and that kid was dancing?
So I posted that on our Instagram. I also went
That's
on
right there,
the at the Regulars podcast. If you're not following, why are you not? Get on there. But I looked up the guy himself and went on his
Yeah.
TikToks. And he answers a bunch of questions. A lot of people think he's lying. He also says he has other paranormal activity that's happened in his house. So he presents that it could be something just paranormal. I mean, he doesn't say like he was robbed. It's not like he goes, oh, it was
Not
a
at
home
all.
invasion. So he's saying maybe it was a ghost. He has other stuff. He has like a video of like him walking down a hallway and there's someone in a curtain. Like it looks like a body standing like with a curtain. And then he goes back and it's gone. I don't know.
Yeah, that all aside, like, and I don't know whether it's true or not. I hate this whole what's true and what's not true. But at the same time, like, just seeing that video, that little thing pop around, that's, if you were gonna make something up, he does it so subtly and so nice. I'm like, good on you, man. That's a good job, because it is kind of scary watching it.
It's
And maybe
super
it was like,
spooky.
it was that.
It's super spooky. And Kayla just says body in a curtain. Thanks for the image. You can watch it on his TikTok. The thing that's the takeaway for me for this guy is when you got ghosts messing with your house so much and freaking everyone up, how do you go back to just dancing on TikTok? I think the brand's changed. I feel bad for him. He can't just be like,
Yeah.
because, you know, he's the ghost guy now. He's ghost guy.
And the chat's also bringing up now Wild Wild Country, because I brought up Waco.
Oh, yeah,
and
I
I've
watched that.
definitely, we went through Wild Wild Country.
That was
'cause
whatever.
I can't remember the lady's name anymore.
I didn't care for it. I mean, I thought it was
I
going
fell
to.
in love with her, though. I was like, this is the most powerful woman on the planet.
It's
I love
so amazing watching a woman just take over and just be like a badass. I was loving it, but
I had a crush on her by episode 3.
wow, you like a dominating cult leader woman. That's interesting.
Look, man, this is what I'm saying. When I walk down Hollywood Boulevard and the Scientologists don't even approach me, I'm like, I'm the easiest mark you've got. I'm ready to follow a cult. I cut my own child's hair. It looks like, I'm like, do I start one now because of the way his hair looks? I don't know. But I would love to follow. If I didn't have the responsibilities of a parent right now, no problem, follow a cult. Love it.
Well, it's kind of crazy because Wild Wild Country, like at its base, I was like, oh, this just seems nice until you get into like the very violent orgies and like the rules and the gift shop. That's where it's sort of left me. But
That's the whole thing with cults. It's like, all of them are like, everybody there seems to be into it and loving it.
Yeah.
But then they all have like, well, why do they all have a stockpile of guns? Why does something always,
Oh
there has
yeah.
to be this one seed that's like turned, like, why do they have to be Charles Manson's family and go kill a rich person?
100%. Well, because
Like,
they're bored.
just eliminate that and then the cult's fine.
Well, they're because
Like, then just leave us
they're
alone.
all in quarantine, right? In a way, and they're just like, oh man, we've been growing
Yeah.
wheat for weeks. You want to kill
Oh
someone?
my
Just
God.
spice it up.
I'm re-listening to this thing right now called Habitat a whole bunch for
Okay.
my own reasons. But
For my
um,
own reasons, out of
I don't want to
joy.
get into it on here.
Oh wow.
But I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But it's essentially these people that are just trying to live like they would live like on Mars, so they have to do a whole bunch of things.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But the parallels to what's going on in quarantine right now, like they're talking about it, and I'm sure if you listen to this documentary or this podcast before quarantine, you'd be like, okay, kind of interesting, kind of weird. But now I'm listening to, I'm like, I know the feelings they're talking about.
Like
I
what?
know,
What's
like,
the feelings?
I'm trying to remember because I knew you'd ask me that too. But they said something about like, they said just something about like how you would assume people would go nuts or whatever. But they would be like, oh, I wake up in the morning and then I turn my head and then it's noon and then I turn my head again and we're thinking about what's for dinner and then I turn my head again and I'm like, we're in bed. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of how the days are going here.
Oh, 100%.
Which I wouldn't know that feeling before. I'd be like, I don't get what you're saying. Like, why is the days going by fast? It feels like it'd be going forever. But now I'm like, oh, I get what they're saying.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird.
It is. I think that's the hardest thing to grasp is like the days. I can't believe that we are 5 weeks. We're also 5 weeks into doing this podcast every day or this show every day. And it truly feels like every day blends into each other. And there's this stress that kind of I feel because I wake up and then I'm like rushing to catch up on the day, but there's nothing to catch up on. Like, I don't know why I have that anxiety of like, I got to be productive. It's like, there's nothing to be productive about. Nothing's happening.
Well, for the last 10 to 15 to 20 years, we've programmed ourselves like this too, because of what we do. It's like, you've got to like, great. Because we don't go to like a 9 to 5 job. And maybe this is the same for people to go to 9 to 5 jobs, but because we don't go there and we don't have like a responsibility list and we don't have like things you're constantly doing, like, I have to create to push, then this is the same thing. But now it's like, we're trying to find out new things to create to push for. And it's with no obvious thing outcome at the end of this anymore.
I know. That's what's so crazy.
Like, yeah. So it feels like it's just a lot to take in.
Yeah, Shayla says you would think the days would be dragging, but I agree. The weeks are flying and also blending together. It's true. And then you're like, what? Yeah, it's all very, like, I mean, it really does feel like.
I gotta say,
what?
During this 5.5 weeks, though, I'm also just falling in love with Jameson Kramer. Like, this guy knows everything about everything. He's the most. I think Dos Equis is about Jameson Kramer. He's just the most interesting man on the planet.
Dos Equis, the Dos Equis man?
That's how you say it, right?
I don't think so. I bet you Jameson doesn't even drink beer. That's probably what it is. You know, I bet
he drinks beer. I think I've seen him drink beer. I was on a baseball team with Jameson Kramer.
Oh.
I played 2 games over 2 seasons. So
you slurping really suds? You slurping suds, Jay? You let us know. Isn't it always really tough when you drink beer and like you go to a bar with someone and they're like, "Can I get you a drink?" And you're like, beer," and then they get like a gin and tonic or something, and you're just like, "Oh man," you feel like you're eating a baguette.
I thought it'd be fun, like back in. I remember doing this in college when I was like, "Let's go to like." We would end up going to the same bar all the time as you do in that time, but I'd go and I'd be like, "I just want to treat this like a movie," so I'm gonna be like, "Give me a beer," because they never say the name of the beer in a movie.
Yeah.
And see what happens. And it was so underwhelming, the outcome of it every time. I tried it like twice and I was like, this is the most failed thing that I thought would be a fun thing.
That's
failed.
So you. That's so you.
I was like, give me a beer. And I was like, and they're like, what beer? And I'm like, I'll have 2 beers. And they'd be like, what beer? And I'm
You're
like,
annoying. You're annoying to them. If I was serving you, I would go back and go, this fucking guy at the bar is telling his very short son that he can't play basketball and asking me for generic beer. No, but it always makes me laugh because I've said this once, twice, thrice, a million tices on this podcast. I just like love beer so much. And I remember I was doing like a monologue reading and there was like wine and I was the only one who like went into the cooler. It was like... It was just like,
That was the day that I found out she was not my mom. Shh.
totally. I was just waiting to do my monologue, and I was like,
Go on. Yeah, not your mom, not your mom. I'm listening. I'm listening.
oh my God. Twist.
Wine? Okay. My father. He met a timely. Did you just pop a cork?
Yeah, it's a sour. I don't mind these. Jameson says, I drink beer around midnight. Oh, wow. No, I just love beer. I just, when people are like, oh,
Why do you think I was really happy yesterday when Adam was playing that game? I was like, I should have jumped in on that. Like,
what game?
he's like, everybody in Ireland just drinks Guinness, so you do just have to ask for beer. But like playing that game where you're just like, I'll take two, and then being like, I could never be the guy that walks through the crowd to be like, excuse me, my beer's ready. I would never be that guy. Well, Collie can be.
Well, because Collie doesn't care about everyone going, what the hell? He doesn't care about that. You and I, all I need is one person to go, who does she think she is? And I'm like,
yeah, I'd be like, you're right. Why don't you
right.
can have them? I'll pay
oh
for
my God,
them.
Oh my
You
God.
take those beers.
Everyone, everything's covered, but I don't even have that many monies.
I'm buying around for everybody.
There's nothing sadder too, now that we're just talking bar etiquette, is like when you see sort of like, I don't want to say like loser or whatever, but just like kind of the wiener of the bar. And like you have those girls who are like, we should do right now. He's like, what? We should do some shots. And he's like, okay. And then you just see him like shaking his debit card to the bartender. And he's like, a round of shots. It makes me so sad. I'm like, no.
One of the good things about being like, not Adam Colley in the sense of like not a 6'4" attractive man is that's never happened to me.
I've seen you buy tons of
also
shots.
Because I'm like, hey, who wants shots?
You buy so many shots. You buy so many shots. I know,
but I've never had like, maybe you should buy us some shots.
I've seen it.
Like, okay.
I've seen it. And you're like, all right, he wants.
Maybe I'm just oblivious to it because I'm like, yeah, of course. Everybody buys shots. Let's buy shots.
You're oblivious. I've seen it. All right. You want to get in on something?
Sure. Who else is in?
We doing pickle packs?
Collie, get over here. We're doing shots.
And me? Yeah, sure. What's your name? All right.
Yeah.
This is why I don't do shots. I won't ever do it. I won't. And people get mad. People get very upset. I can only imagine if people who don't drink, like obviously the pressure that is felt when people won't let it go. But my only experience with that is I don't do shots and people are like, come on. It's like they need you to do it. And I'm like, I'm telling you, I will have to leave. The night will be done.
Yeah.
And then Jason's like, come on.
But I wouldn't do it. So there's like a couple lovely people in the comedy community. They're like, no, they just don't do that. Like, and Jen Caruana Sandwich is one of them. And like, you would never bug her to do that.
No.
And I'm sorry if I have. But Marty Adams, same thing. It's just like these people are in the bar and they're like some of the funniest people, but they're also the nicest people. And you're just, I wouldn't do that. But if Stacey tries to leave the bar and I don't want to go.
You're like, come on, do a shot. I'm like, I'll watch you do it. I just don't want to do it. And you're like, I'm going to walk off the Scarborough Bluffs.
I'm going to Baker's house. I'll wake him up. He'll do shots with
me. Oh, you're not going to do a shot with me? So when did you start hating me?
That's what that movie was about, right? That movie, Stella, get up. I got to do shots.
Yes. A Streetcar Named Desire was just Marlon Brando outside the window with two shots. Stella.
Look, I got a 6-pack. It's got your name on it.
One of these are whiskey and one of these are pickle juice, Stella. What is your favorite shot? If I were to do a shot, I think I would do, I guess like Jameson, but I would do tequila. That might just be my.
Lately, it's been mezcal for me. I like the smokiness of it for some weird reason,
Yeah.
but it's getting to me because I don't really have a favorite one. I don't love shots. Like
No, I don't
I
love
love
shots
doing them,
either.
but it's just, but I don't like the like. I don't go like if you know some people take shots and they're like, oh god, give me the lemon and they get crazy or whatever. I'm
Yeah.
not that because they just go down. But I'm like, you don't like the taste of most shots. I don't drink them for like pleasure of the taste.
Uh,
You're just like, great, start the night. Let's go.
no, see, I want to like, I don't want the night. I don't need to be like, let's run into the night. I'm like, let's ease in. Let's just let's watch the sun.
Shirt off, run, go.
Have you ever seen It's Always
That's
Sunny?
me.
Have you seen the episode of It's Always Sunny where uh Danny DeVito runs into the apartment? Looks like Charlie is showing D how he lives, and he's like, "I eat the canned food, and then you gotta close the thing, and you gotta huff this, so you go out." Like, you know what I'm talking about? That episode. And then Danny
I never
DeVito.
saw that episode, but like
Oh,
that reads for all those characters.
I'm sending it to you. So like Charlie's like walking through why he has to like huff the paint so that he can't hear the neighbors. He's like out, like he's got to eat the cat food quick. And it's like so gross. And then Danny DeVito runs into the apartment and he like huffs, eats the cat food, and like jumps into bed like so quick. And that's how I feel like you start the night. You're like, we partying? Yeah.
The shot to me is just like starting the lawnmower. It's just like, go.
How do you
Now
start the
we're running.
lawnmower?
That's why I like at the end of the night when people are buying me shots, which is very nice. But it's like, guys, the lawnmower's already running. What are we doing here? Why are we pulling on the string?
I don't get when people can barely remember their names. They're like, you want to do a shot? I'm like, do you want to do a shot? Yeah. I can't. That's always so funny. It also is like when people barf and rally. That's something I also never knew. For me, I was like, I barf, I cry. We have to go to bed. But I have friends who like barf and then they're like, they just kind of shake it off, and everyone's like, yeah, like in college. That's happening less now, but
It does make me want to like, you know how you can just sell things on great names? Barf and Rally is a great name. I think we should do like one of those like go to the desert, get a bunch of dune buggies, and it's like just make it a drinking like you got to drink as much as you can and like win the race. You have to make a 24-hour race on a dune buggy, but just drunk.
It's called barf and rally.
Anyways,
I would never do that.
this is my dream now.
Yeah, you can have that dream actually. I was on a snowmobile once, tipped it over. Yeah, I'm good. No thanks. I can't enchant. But this is actually a good
Stacy comes in the
segue.
door. How was the snowmobiling? Oh, it was all right. Where's the snowmobile? I tipped it over a few miles away. Anyways, it's there.
I tipped it over. It's gone. Yeah, no thanks. This is actually a good segue though that was unplanned to talk about our beverage for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Can you believe tomorrow's Friday? That seems unbelievable to me.
I don't know if I've already said this in the podcast. Just before the podcast, I said to my wife, she's like, it's Thursday.
Wait,
I was like,
wait,
"No,
wait,
it's
wait.
not.
I
It's
need,
Wednesday."
I
And
need, I need you to step on the brakes and try that sentence again. It sounded like you were falling down the hill. Yeah, just
Whoa! I
Stella.
verbally fell down the stairs.
Yeah, it honestly feels like you're falling down the stairs 1,000%. So let's try that again. I heard wife, so I'm sure you were talking to Jenny. So
I did. Just before
Okay.
the podcast, I said to her, she said to me, I'm like, she's like, it's Thursday already. And I was like, it's Wednesday. And she's like, it's not. And I truly believed it was Wednesday today
Yeah. Well,
because I'm going to Mars. That's why.
it's Thursday. We have Casual Friday coming on tomorrow. We will be in robe. I suggest that you are as well. And we have
Even if you're at work.
even if you're at work, get in robe.
Because I'm seeing a lot of people in our chat, which is crazy. They're still like, they're like, oh, I'm coming back from work, so I listen to it then, and
Yeah.
whatever else. This is crazy that it's hard to imagine. People are going through this quarantine in so many different ways. There's so many people out there, like, and God bless, of course, anybody that's an essential worker that is going through like very, very tough times.
Oh my God,
But
absolutely.
even like people that are just doing like these sort of less essential jobs, and they're still just going to like work. That's what an experience.
every
It's
day.
crazy.
Oh my God, absolutely. It's wild. It's unbelievable. And so I highly love when they can decompress and be in robe and watch the dumbness that is you and I, you verbally falling down the stairs, and me wearing a brooch for my garbage man. Thank you.
I'm trying to think of what me verbally walking up the stairs properly is, but I don't think it exists.
I think just taking a breath and taking the sentence slow. Hi, my
Just hold on to
name's
the
Jason.
handrail.
Yeah, my name is Jason DeRoss.
This feels weird.
Yeah.
I like sliding down the stairs.
But our beverage, we're gonna put on our Instagram again, the recipe. But I believe we're doing a daiquiri, which I am like,
We are.
I'm just so there for. And I have a blender, and dare I say, I might be making a frozen version of it.
Oh, I'm not going to do a frozen version. Or maybe I could. I got a blender. I could do that too. Why not?
You could easily do a frozen daiquiri.
I wasn't even thinking that though, because the picture we got sent from Casual Friday was not the frozen type. But yeah, you definitely.
It was
could do that for
gorgeous.
sure.
So we're gonna post that. But and again, mocktail, cocktail, however you feel, even if it's just a coffee, bring it.
And I love how much Casual Friday is getting into this, because come Wednesday, he now sends us, here's my options. He's really like
He gives
digging
us
in.
options.
This guy cares about his cocktails.
Now, I will tell you, and I'd like to bring this up on tomorrow with Mr. Casual Friday himself, but there's a new masterclass, which is for cocktails.
Whoa, who's the teacher?
It's 2 bartenders or 2 mixologists.
Cool.
Yeah,
I
and-
said that like I would know any names of any mixologists.
I
on the
know.
planet,
You're like,
but-
oh, who they got? They got Samantha. They got Chris. What are they doing? They doing Peter?
They got Kesha from Bar Rescue because she's great.
Oh my God, I could talk about Bar Rescue forever.
We should definitely recap an episode or two of Bar Rescue.
We should talk to my friend Danielle, and I hope she doesn't mind. But there was a time where she was just like watching so much Bar Rescue, and I would love to get her take on it because she's a big. There's different types of people, and I hope that this lands. And maybe this is just a Canadian thing, but there's Spike TV people, and then there's not.
I was a Spike TV
I
person
was
for
Spike-
sure.
I was
and then
Spike
I found
TV
out
for
Waco
sure.
was launched on Paramount TV. Spike TV turned into Paramount
Oh.
Television, but yeah.
Because I was such a Spike TV person, Ink Master, Bar Rescue, like
Yep.
anyone driving on ice, the Alaska people too. But there's
Anyone driving on ice.
my dad loves that. Alaskan,
Any
anyone.
of the deadliest jobs, the
Oh,
guys
yeah.
catching lobsters.
I think
cooking
that's
crabs.
travel now, but I believe it was on Spike at some point. But I think also Storage Wars was on Spike. We were a Spike family.
Well, so was, I know that you were never into this, but like the UFC shows that were started, they were started on Spike.
Of course they were. So there's, you
Mm-hmm.
got to ask yourself what sort of person are you? You a Spike TV person? Because that's someone I can get behind.
There's 2 kind of people. There's John Taffer, and then there's everybody else.
These taps are filthy. Oh my God. What are you doing to these people?
He is a gorilla, right? Like he's literally a gorilla yelling at people.
Just his very long arms. You're better than this. Come on.
Because the problem here isn't your bar. It's the family.
I scheduled a
I
meeting
gotta
with
fix
the
this family.
Yeah. If we want to fix his bar, we got to fix the family.
There's a surfboard over the bar. There's girls dancing topless on the bar. They're taking your money. They're taking my money. I love Bar Rescue.
What I love doing is watching Bar Rescue and then just seeing all of them not be open anymore. There's hardly any full success stories.
Oh, I did that I deep dived right away into like, I would go in, there's a site that shows you like all of them and how they're doing now. And it's
Yeah.
like, first season's like close. Second season, close. And then they start to spatter as they get closer to like where it is. But then you check out like a month later, you're like, close.
Close. All closed.
Just falling down the stairs, close.
Close. Oh, you like Bar Rescue? What do you think of it? Close. It's so crazy on Bar Rescue, but the biggest takeaway for me, and again, because I'm a beer gal, now I only talk about the taps. Like I'll have a sip of beer. I'm like, they got clean taps. You can tell they got some clean taps here. Or when you get served, warm beer, I'm like, what's going on with that filtration system?
For me, I pick up the menu and I'm like, see the way this box draws my eyes to this box right here? I'll have that.
Sir, that's us telling you the hours of brunch. Perfect. So we'll have 2 of those, I think.
I'll take 2. I'll just take all the hours you're open.
Take
Thank
all
you.
of them, please. I thought the customer was always right. Huh? If you don't serve me what I want, I believe we've got to close in your future. So
I want to see that episode of Bar Rescue and John Taffer dealing with that customer. I just want the hours. They want the hours. I can't even do it.
I can't believe how much fabric is used for his suit jackets. It's like full duvet length.
He is the Hanna-Barbera gorilla, I think, honestly.
Oh my God. I can't. I love that show so much. I'm really glad that we'll take the time.
John Taffer would not approve this. It's been 6 minutes. That's true. You're talking about me for 6 minutes. We got tickets here that are 6 minutes. Oh, I can't. I love that show so much.
The flow of this conversation isn't bringing more people in. It's pushing them out. When they show the flow, the arrows.
Yeah.
What
I'm going to leave you here with is a POS system with the John Taffer system. Tell you how to do a podcast.
He holds on to the POS system with his thick ass hands, and it looks like he's going to break the computer every time. And when he says POS, I don't think he knows what he's talking about. He's like, we're going to have Jonathan come in and train you on the POS. Okay.
And it's always that one lady that he does have as a cocktail thing. And she's just like, you got to smile. And I'm like, I'm like, if I ever got a drink from you, I'd be like, what's wrong? Is someone holding you hostage?
It's always some woman named Tammy who's like, I got 3 kids and this is my only option. You want daiquiri? Okay.
She won a daiquiri making competition in Las Vegas in 2008.
And then there's that whole segment where they're like, we want to talk about the competition in 1998. And she's like, I'm done with it. Anyways, I can't.
There was controversy.
There was controversy. Can you hold my other smoke?
Thanks. Can't do more than 6 at a time.
I'm cutting down because the kids.
You have kids? No.
No.
I'm cutting down because the kids, you guys watch We Are the World. There's problems.
There's problems. Oh man, it's such a good show. If you don't know what we're talking about, treat yourself. Go to Spike TV Land. Bar Rescue. All right. Well, Jay,
The problem with Spike TV shows are they'll start the show, they'll show everything in the first credits.
Yeah.
And then they'll go to commercial for 8 minutes, and then they'll come back and they'll be like, what you missed during the thing, and then they'll show one plot point happen very fast, and then
Another
they'll be
commercial.
come back and watch this.
It's
and then they go to
actually
commercial for 8 minutes.
I will tell you, watching TV on Spike TV was truly the most unpleasant experience because it's just commercials and then recaps of the thing you just watched 8 minutes prior, for sure. You're like, oh my God.
And all of the commercials are for other Spike TV shows,
Yeah.
and including the one that you're watching right now.
Totally. And sometimes when you're I remember watching certain episodes of Bar Rescue or Ink Master or whatever, and then they would show you previews of the season. I'd be like, that episode seems way better. You were kind of let down because you were stuck with a stinker. Oh my God. Anyways. I want to thank you for reminding me of the POS system and forever and always. Thank you. Always a POS system. All right, friends, listen, it is 1:30, which means, it's past that 1:39, and that means we've come to the end.
Yeah, and not because of Charlie pulling his old CNN. Charlie's outside.
Oh, wow.
It's a beautiful day out today, guys.
Oh my God, that's really nice. Well, my garbage is picked up, so it's obviously going to be a beautiful day here. I'm about to go pull the garbage in with a nice little brooch. There's nothing that says I'm doing okay than pulling that in. But everyone, listen, thank you so much for being in the chat. We adore you so much. We can't wait for Casual Fridays. Come in robe, bring a bevy of choice. The theme again is daiquiri. If you're listening to this, guess what? You can also watch it because we go live Monday through Friday, 12:30. And it's on YouTube for your enjoyment whenever you so choose to enjoy. And you can also follow us on the Regulars podcast on Instagram if you want to get I'm sure I'm going to do like a little bar rescue. We have to. There's probably going to be a bar rescue post. I don't know. John Taffer, it's going to make sense. So thank you, everyone. We will see you tomorrow at 12:30. If you liked this episode, give it a like before you leave. We got a little like button, and I hear from the millennials that that's a good thing. So if you enjoyed the episode, give it a like. You know what I mean? Either than that, we will see you all tomorrow. Jason, do you have anything to say before?
Either than that, I think you just pulled your first Jason DeRoss.
Either than that. Other than that?
Yeah.
Whatever. I
think that's what the term is.
Friday can't come soon enough. All right. Do you have anything to say, Jay?
No, I just can't wait for that. And then you know what else we have to do? Because I don't know if we're doing this, but we got to pick a movie for Monday eventually as well.
We do. So bring your movie suggestions. We'll chat about them and
with Casual Friday.
With Mr. Casual Friday himself. So we will see you all tomorrow. Bye.